Welcome to Whiskey Watches and Wheels, the biggest podcast in Matt.
I was waiting for you, man. You had it going. You fucking had it going, dude. What are you doing? You don't. It doesn't have to be me all the time. You're fine. You're doing great.
Stage but I didn't have the city. We never decided on the city. So no, it's all you, bro.
Just so you know, that shit's staying. I'm not cutting any of that out. We're rolling with
100%.
Tonight's a fucking free for all, and we're loving it.
Okay, so fill in the city though.
I didn't even have a city tonight. We're changing shit up. We're trying to make it fresh. So I wasn't even going to do a city tonight. So see, look at that. Right. It's perfect.
Yeah, so we're the biggest podcast in our mind.
You know what? I'm on vacation this week, so we're the biggest podcast in my fucking living room. So I'm chilling. So It's a beautiful thing. So yeah, guys, Whiskey Watches Wheels. I am Matt. Guys,
I am James.
All right, perfect. We know who we are. So if you notice, Casey's not with us tonight, and Casey's out on his own rally. So we'll hear more details of that next week when he gets back. But tonight, me and James and Kevin's just gonna fucking shoot the shit. We got a couple things we want to talk about, and yeah, that's gonna way it's gonna go. So, guys, did you see where TAG and Kith teamed up to do these Formula One, I guess, recreations or, additional watches from like the 1986?
Yeah, we've been we thought about talking about this for like 3 weeks now, but we've just been so busy with everything. So, who wants to chime in first?
Well, let me throw up. You guys banter up a little bit. I'm going to throw up some photos real quick so people watching on YouTube know what we're talking about. So,
so we're talking about a plastic watch that's colorful. It pretty much looks like a TAG, what is it? Like a 38 millimeter watch. It's
35 millimeter.
Okay, yeah, 35 millimeter. Looks like something that, for those people who aren't watching on YouTube, looks like something you get out of the cereal box.
It looks like a Swatch watch from like the 80s.
It does. It does. So this watch in the 80s, it's a quartz watch. You can buy this watch for, I think, $200. They used to be even cheaper than that until this new release came out. But
now it's $200 on the eBay.
Right. So it's a joke, in my opinion. So that kit, there's a kit that they're showing. It's a TAG Heuer Formula One limited edition kit. They made 75 of them, and it has all 10 color combo watches. Colorways. I've seen this kit for...
It was like 15 grand, right? You put that
I've
up
seen
online.
20. I think I've seen 20, 25 grand.
Right.
That were guaranteed. And
it's a fucking joke.
That is a complete joke. And these watches are going for $1,500 to $1,800.
They're not swatches.
Well, and that's my point, man.
Little slip. You're thinking it looks like a swatch, but it's not.
So I let me start off by saying I like, TAG Heuer gets a lot of flack,
hate,
a lot of hate. They really do, and I like some of their stuff. I don't like all their stuff. I love my Aqua Racer. It's a great watch. They make some really nice, automatic brain freeze, guys, on vacation, right? So some really nice automatic watches. But then they have like the Formula One line. It's always been, and I like some of the Formula One styles, but they're quartz, and I'm not going to spend $1,500 on a quartz watch. I'm just not going to do it. These do have metal bodies. They're made to look like they're plastic. They do have a steel case on them, but they missed the mark.
But here's the thing: is we all felt bad spending $249 if we paid retail for the Swatch Omega, right? Mm-hmm. And now. This is a pretty big leap to get to $1,500. But one thing I did want to add is those 75 limited edition boxes, it's not to the highest bidder. It's via a draw. So if you want it, you can get your name drawn for it. So that's at least cool that maybe some rando person can get it as opposed to somebody who's willing to plunk down 30 grand.
Well, I've seen a guy on eBay saying that he's already won it. So I guess the drawing has already gone out because some guy said he's already got the drawing, he won it.
It's instant flip in our limited edition economy that we now live in.
But I would love to see the comments if anybody can comment what their thoughts on this watch is, because this watch, in my opinion, I think is So there was the Swatch collab with Omega, and then we also had the uh, Bone Pawn or whatever. What's it called, James?
The Blanc Pawn.
Yeah,
Black
Blanc Pawn.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was the Swatch collab, and that went for like $450, still a line, flipping them. Now, I think Tag's a little late to the game, but they're going for, triple the price.
But they're leaning on history here, though, right?
That's my point.
Omega wasn't. How about the Block Pawn or whatever it's called? I know everybody's gonna make fun of me.
No, I think they always lean on history or heritage. But I find ironic that in the watch collecting world, in the horology world, everyone pans Tag primarily because of the stuff they are putting out in the 80s. So here they are, basically giving themselves their own homage to the watches that everyone pans from the 80s.
Do you think that's from the 80s? Because I typically see that everyone, because I think
80s and 90s.
It really is.
So the 70s is the ones that people collect.
Yeah, because those were still Heuers. So Tag bought Heuer in the if I remember this correctly, and I may be slightly off, guys, don't flame me in the comments, but it was early to mid 80s when Tag acquired Heuer. So this 1986, and they came out with the Formula One in '86. So that's when a lot of the the purists that loved the Heuer brand and all that was everyone just hated what Tag did to the brand, so to speak.
Yeah.
And they've come a long way. They make some really good in-house movements now. Like the Caliber 16 that's in my Aqua Racer is a really good automatic movement, but then they do shit like this that just takes them back 2 steps, in my opinion.
Well, the thing for me is, I love color. Always picking up color. Mm-hmm. But I'm looking at this and there's a ton of color, but I can't see anything that appeals to me. There's nothing there that's like, yeah, I have to have that.
No,
but
yeah, I mean,
the Swatch Omega collab, I mean, there were multiple in there that I was like, I would love to pick up one of those. Now, you're going to have to appeal to me a bit more at $1,500 than you are at $250.
Well, no joke. But collaborations is not new. They've been doing, they've been doing what was it, the Omega with Snoopy, the Snoopy. They've been doing that for like forever, So
yeah, but we're talking about an automatic opposed to this.
Right.
I think everyone's just trying to make the cheapest watch and charge the most amount of money, and a lot of these people they're just flipping.
I like the Seiko Rowing Blazers collab. Yeah. They've been putting out some really interesting watches, and I showed one a few episodes back, so I don't have a problem with that one. It's and I think that's a really good pairing.
Shout out to George. He hit me up last night and showed this watch to me. And this is actually a collab too. Timex collabed with a fashion brand called James Brand. And listen, say what it is. It's still a decent watch. I would almost rather have this over the Tag. I mean, because here it is. It's a Timex. All right. It's an automatic GMT. It's using a Miyota movement, which is a good Japanese movement. It's got
it's $700, just half the price, though.
Right, and it's half the price, and it's titanium. So I mean, you have good quality automatic watch for half the price. I'd rock this over the Tag all day long.
Oh well, I also would add that it kind of looks like a Seiko turtle. Just saying.
Well, it does, but
But at least that it is an automatic. So I mean, let's face it. Timex, what's their motto? Keeps on ticking.
Yeah, I mean, Timex is definitely known for quartz movements and really watches in the sub $200 range. So
right, yeah.
This is watches a stretch, right? Stretch for a roll. Timex.
I mean, you can get their Expedition, the Timex Expedition, I think is still like $35, and it's
sharp too.
Yeah, it's not a bad looking watch for $35.
So the Tag, Keith Tag, let's go back to that. Plastic bezel, I'm assuming, and what's the difference between? Why is the price difference so much, other than inflation and collectability?
I think just
only
name.
Because just name.
I think just they're trying to float the name.
Well, there's supposed to be two premium brands, right? So Kith clothing is a premium brand, right?
Yeah.
Well, and
They're not
again,
giving
That
that shit
aside,
away.
you're putting somebody's name on it. That doesn't mean that the watch is better.
So what I think is interesting is that who approached whom, right? Did Kith approach TAG because there was some history there where the founder of Kith, that was his first watch, was a Formula One.
Are you speculating?
Yeah, no, I'm asking
Okay.
if anybody knows, where'd this start?
So I guess if we would have did some homework before.
Well, let me share this real quick. So I've looked in. I like the Formula One style, their watches. So they've always been overpriced on the Formula One. So this is tagged Formula One. $2,400, $2,200. And again, it's a quartz movement. The Formula Ones have always been quartz movements. Every now and then they do make one in an automatic that's like $4,000. But, so I really like the Formula One style, but I'm not going to spend $1,500 to $2,200 or whatever for a quartz movement. I'm just not. So that's always been my problem with the Formula One line that TAG produces. And so that's why they put a quartz movement in it, is because it's supposed to, the original one in '86 had a quartz movement. So, wow. And they still have quartz movements. So I think that's why they went quartz for that one. But still, $1,500 is too expensive for a quartz watch. That's a $650 watch all day long.
No, it's a $300 watch.
Well, yeah. I'm giving them some name recognition.
Watch. But do you think people are going to pick these up to flip?
100%.
Hoping they go up.
They're definitely not picking them up because they want them.
Sneaker culture, right? Yeah, but if they're out there and there's so much of them, your return's not going to be doubled now.
Yeah, but I mean, TAG is doubling down on it, because I was at the here in Orlando. We have what I call the fancy mall. It's the Mall Millennia, and there's a TAG boutique there. And I almost took a photo and I forgot to, but all the glass, the everything was just plastered with marquees of this Kith collaboration. Every banners and everything. So they're all in behind it. They're trying to support it.
Well, I thought it was interesting is that they unveiled all this stuff at the Miami Grand Prix, which for all the walking I did and everything, I didn't see shit about it. I just didn't notice it. So I didn't see anything about it.
It's crazy. What we're talking about,
people are flipping them right now. I'm looking at right now. They're going for the metal bands are going for $2,700, $2,000 for the plastic bands, $2,000, $24,000 for the box set. The metal bands seem to be going. These are the
sold?
new Kith.
Are these listed or sold? Go to the sold. So you can ask anything. Really the key is find out what they've sold for.
So I don't know how to go to sold.
You're going to make me work, Kevin. You're going to make me work.
Well, sorry. Sometimes you got to do it.
Yeah. I don't know. I definitely think, it's going to be low production. They're not going to keep churning these things out. So, they'll sell them, but I think, there's going to be an initial hype for them. And then it's going to be like the Swatch Omega line, which, I still don't own one, but I went to in the same mall when I was there that day, the Swatch store there. You can walk right in and buy one off the shelf. They're not limited any longer.
What's not?
Sold on May
Swatch
22nd.
Collab.
Here you go. Sold on May 22nd, 2024. Kith TAG Heuer, Formula One limited edition. Oh, the collector's magazine, $65. Let's see the limited edition watch here, $2,300. 1999, 1750. So they're not making a killing per se.
No.
Right. These are all the solds. 2200, 2100.
So they're making $500. That's,
And the original ones did have a metal case as well, by the way. So
okay.
They did have a So I'm looking at when I just put in TAG Heuer Formula One Mint as a and they're all going for I may buy one of these just to add
Just
to
say you
my
had one?
little. Just yeah.
You just
to be like,
trashed
oh,
it.
I got the OG one. Oh, well, I'm paying $239. I'm not paying
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
An OG. I get it.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not paying, and it will be a beat up watch. Just like this little. Somebody was clowning me today. I think my graphic guy was like, "What kind of watch is that?" And I'm like, "I don't know. It's some watch that I had as a kid." And he's like, "I know that watch back in Slovenia." And I said, "Well, I like it." So
in Slovenia, I love it.
I like it.
So it's an overpriced piece of plastic with a metal case, and I think, in my opinion, they missed the boat on it. I think they're late to the game. Your opinion, James?
I think they'll do just fine. And they won't worry about being late to the game. They'll make their money, and they'll all be gone, be it flips or not.
Mm-hmm.
Matt?
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll sell them. I personally would not buy one, but that's just me.
Do any of you guys think that they're going to sell them? Like, historically, I do not buy a TAG watch anymore at the boutique or stores because I can go online and buy one for usually 20% off of retail.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
can you beat them up in the store and get the 20% off as well?
Not usually.
Because
they
that's
hold
their
the
commission.
price.
That is the salesperson's commission. My wife bought 2 tags for her and my daughter, and they showed them to me when I was out of town. And
you're like, fuck, I could have got those cheaper.
I literally went to eBay and it was like, look, you could have got this. But she tried to pull a power move, and she's like, what, you don't think you're the only one who can buy a daughter watches? So,
oh, God.
I said, okay. Well,
all right. Yeah. I think by next episode, we'll all be rocking some classic Formula Ones.
Yeah, some bright colors.
Yeah, I'll be looking while we're talking about the Hyundai.
Yeah, listen, I'll buy one that's an original 86, because that's not a recreation, and that's literally a fraction of the cost.
Yeah,
before we move off watches, James, you got a new watch. You want to tell us about it?
Oh gosh,
sure. I'll just transition while we're on watches. Before we get into the Hyundai, let's go.
I picked up a watch that I bought while I was at the Formula One race in Miami, but I picked it up this past weekend.
How ironic!
We did Ruckus, but let me see here.
Tell us about it.
Let me share my screen and give you a photo. There we go. All right, so I picked up a Seiko Prospex Tuna SNE 498 analog quartz solar diver watch from January 2019. The full charge holds for 10 months, which is pretty cool. 200 meter water resistance, unidirectional rotational bezel, hard X crystal, and silicone band. And what I like about it is the black and gold theme here, which is a kind of a John Player Formula One looking. So I've been looking for this watch for a while, and came across my Instagram feed from someone I knew, and I grabbed it.
I dig it.
Quite
I like
pleased
it a lot
with it, and I've been wearing it since this rally started on. I guess I picked it up on the Saturday afternoon.
Cool.
So
keeping good time for you?
Well, it is a solar quartz.
Solar. That's right.
It's spot on.
Yeah,
and I enjoy it, and it's light and comfy, and I don't think I'll take it off for a little while.
I asked the question because I know you had that one Seiko that you had to change the battery in it. So
yeah, and I did have my struggle with that, but now that I know what I'm doing with it,
do the buttons work? All the buttons work? It's not a chrono.
Right. It's just time and date. So
simplicity.
I love it. I think it's sharp as hell. And what's really interesting is I wore it to the office today, and multiple people noticed it and mentioned it that are just not watch people. So
that's good.
It must be sharp.
Yep.
And it does pop because it has gold in it. It
Kind of
catches
gold
your eye.
accents.
Yeah, and it's not an overpowering gold, and that whole tuna part comes in. I think it, plus the little gold accents on the band. So I think it's really cool.
And it's got that rubber strap. That rubber strap's always comfortable.
And I will say it's less than a vintage TAG Formula One. How about that?
Well, there you go. All right. So I'm excited about this next thing. And I don't get excited about EVs that often or ever. I don't think any of us really get excited about EVs. But so let's rewind for a minute. So Hyundai has been killing it for quite a while. And I can speak from this honestly as the owner of 3 Hyundais. My wife has a Sonata, my son has a Elantra, and my daughter has an Accent. So I have a lot of Hyundais in my household. And so their N division, for those that don't know, Hyundai has a sport division called the N division, similar to BMW's M division, and that's their hot cars. And so they've had the Veloster N, and now they have the Elantra N, and so the Kona N, and all of them
Nancy,
are great cars.
right?
Not Nancy. No, I don't know what. I don't know what the N stands for.
Yeah, but it's N as in Nancy, correct?
N as in Nancy, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, N as in Nancy. So they've now given the treatment to one of their EV vehicles, the Ioniq 5. And so they launched the Ioniq 5N, and I'm thinking, okay, how fun can an EV get? And so I started watching the various journalists' reviews on YouTube, and I couldn't find one auto journalist, and I'm talking big auto journalists, that had anything negative to say about this thing. And it is amazing.
Positive.
And the cool thing about this car is that the software, they've actually mimicked a dual clutch transmission to where you can actually shift the car and you feel like you're driving a dual clutch. I mean, yes, it's lying to you, but everyone says it's so convincing that you don't care. It's a small, SUV in the crossover segment, and it got great looks. Like all EVs, has a ton of technology on the inside, but like Hyundai always does, the value for dollar here is just overwhelming. This all in is $68,000. When you compare a lot of the EVs out there that are 100, 110, 120, especially performance ones, our own beloved brand Porsche, it's astronomical in price. This is half the price. You're getting a dual motor, 601 horsepower with 40 horsepower of overboost. So giving you 641 total horsepower. You're getting 568 foot-pounds of torque, 0 to 60 in 3 seconds flat. And you can literally drive it like you do a dual clutch. To
is
the
there
point
going to be
that
a markup on this? You think this is just going to be
Hyundai doesn't really do
hot?
a lot of markups. They really don't. So it's just a really cool thing. And so
300 miles of range.
No, I wish. So that's the only down. It's everyone's touting 221 miles of range, which is not a lot, but
that's because of horsepower.
Right. The battery in this thing is designed to where you can get. I mean, this is really designed for enthusiasts. So it's you can get a full 20-minute track session out of the charge. And then it does have a DC fast charging, so it'll go from 10 to 90% in 35 minutes. So it recharges fairly quickly. But there was a video somewhere of this thing just, it did 2 full laps around the Nürburgring. And everyone knows how long that is. So, I mean, you can get, a full track session out of this thing. I didn't want to share this. And so when you talk about having to go through and let's see here. When you talk about having to go through and shift gears, a big portion of that is the sound that your engine makes, But of course, EVs don't make sound. they've actually pumped in sound into this, which unlike the Dodge Charger, where it's a gimmick and trying to sound like a V8, just for sound, it doesn't really do anything as an automatic. This thing is actually for a reason, because if you're going to have a dual clutch, you're going to shift gears, you need to hear when to shift. It'll hold gears. If you're in a too low of a gear, it'll bog the engine. You can even stall it. So it'll do everything.
And we did touch base on this on one of our last podcasts, right?
No, you and I were, we were going to talk about it, and so we were talking about it before everyone hopped online.
Oh, okay.
So this right here.
Where do I sign?
Yeah, well, he's going to show a video of the different sounds it makes pretty soon too, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So anyway, so there's that video there. Yeah, the one you and I were looking at, I couldn't find it, but I have another one here going around the track.
Sounded great.
And I'm wondering if you can get better.
Hold the neck ear.
Hey, he's not going to throw a piston, though.
No.
Hell yeah, no kidding.
But again, it'll hold it, but it won't. You have to shift it. It'll bog.
Well, he's at Laguna Seca. Hopefully, he saves some to get home because there's no charging station there.
Yeah.
What's not to like?
I agree.
When are they available, Matt?
They're on sale now.
2025. No, they're 2025.
Well, no, they're taking pre-orders now. You can do pre-orders.
Right. Pre-order, yeah, but because I can't find one for sale.
Yeah, no, they're doing pre-orders now. So anyway,
so don't buy the first one.
And they're not going to mark this stuff up.
So I will tell you, my buddy has a Veloster in, and when it came out, there was no dealer markup.
And that was the hot shit back then too. I remember when they released that at Rolex because they had the button. It's like a boost button.
Yep.
I just don't think they have the with everything that's out there. I don't think they have the demand to do a markup personally, because let's face it, like all three of us, besides Matt, and if Casey was here, he would agree. It's a Hyundai. So
yeah, but granted, they steal every decent looking car bits and pieces. That's why they get them so cheap, because they don't spend a lot of time on design in order to make it look cool. So it appeals to everybody because everybody sees their own car in there.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Right. Yeah. But if there's demand there, here's the thing: is if this is a bridge between an ICE motor and going into this fully electric,
Well, I just applaud them for trying to make an EV fun. On a lot of our past podcasts, and we get a lot of hate for saying we hate EVs. We don't hate EVs, but I don't want to drive a toaster. I want to have something that's fun to drive.
Yeah. Speaking of toaster, I don't want to park it in my garage and burn the house down.
Well, that's true. That's
the other thing too. So because it has less mileage, you think it's going to take a shorter time? Because let's face it, Tesla does have the technology for fast charging and stuff like that. And I know everybody's going to the new plug now, so I'm assuming you'll be able to use a Tesla charger with this.
I'm fairly confident you could.
Yeah.
Because it's coming out in 2025, so it should be set for a Tesla plug.
And what's MSRP?
So MSRP base is 67
for that car.
For this
loaded
for the Hyundai, yeah. Base is 67,475, and as tested was 68,685.
Hey, you know what? Don't shake your head there. You can go to any dealer at the moment that sells a pickup truck, and you're spending $115K, $85K for a fucking pickup.
A diesel.
Yeah.
For a diesel truck.
Yeah, but I mean,
but what I'm saying is that we're no longer in this territory of that's a premium price. We're talking,
I
Fords
think you guys
and Chevys are going for 80, 90, 100 grand.
I would disagree with you. We have a guy right down the street. He just picked up a brand new V6 Ford pickup, fully loaded, but it was a V6, 4x2,
45,
$38,000, close $38,000. That's a pickup truck.
But still, in the EV world, world, 68,000 is not a lot of money in the EV world.
I understand that, but you're looking at EV, and then you're also looking at other cars. Like, I'm probably going to be in the market for another car pretty soon for my wife because she doesn't have a company car anymore. So she's not going to be rocking her Mercedes all over the place. So, a number of years ago, we got her a Honda Civic because she just needed it to be going to retail stores and stuff. And we handed that down to Savannah.
Putting on miles for that.
Yeah. And I think it was probably like 28 out the doors, EX, fully loaded, no leather, but sunroof and all that.
What's that going for today, though? Out of Honda?
Actually, this the same price. So because my daughter wants to look at a Type R, and they're going for top of the line Type R is like 49.
MSRP is just 46. That's exactly what I was doing. I was googling a Type R, so it's 46,345.
Yeah, 46. So, and the Type R is pretty damn close in the numbering to a lot of port. Actually, really close. They just said to, a 991.2 around the numbering for the European model. But for $40-something thousand opposed to $200,000, and you're getting the same lap times, hey, sign me up.
In about 3 minutes to fill the tank.
Right there, yeah.
True.
So I would be a little more. A girl today just came by our shop, and she had the new Lexus. It looks kind of like a crossover.
Their hybrid SUV?
Yes. No,
those are going like hotcakes, though.
Yeah. So she got it for $10,000. It had 2,300 miles on it.
Wow.
No, not 10,000. 10,000 miles. $10,000 off just because they dropped it. Nice. Again, same situation. 210 miles per charge.
Yeah.
For someone who's probably gonna, to me, that's just a commuter car. That's gonna, which I know for Casey and for myself and James, I mean, this would work
for any of us. If we're hobbyists, right? If we're drivers, it's hard for us to consider something that does 200 miles, right? I did over 800 miles at a rally this weekend, right?
I did 3,000.
You did 3,000 miles in a week.
Yeah.
Try doing that. Try doing 3,000 miles in a week with an EV.
Yeah, that's not happening.
You're reading 2 books while you wait for the fucker to charge.
But I mean, I do drive from my shop to my work 2 miles. But if I want to go to, say, drop off parts in Sanford and come back, I may be able to get 210 miles. I don't know, Matt. You may be able to tell me with traffic and everything. I tell you one thing. I'd be a little scared. Yeah, I'd be a little scared to be like, oh shit, I gotta pull over, especially if there's an accident. I don't know if it's still running again.
You'd be pulling over in Haines City on the way back.
Yeah,
to recharge.
But to just switch it around a little bit as far as a positive spin, I think we're all very intrigued at the looks and the performance and the sound. Like you were saying earlier, Matt, it's a great step forward to transition to this.
Well, I was listening to Matt Farah's podcast, and he brought up a very good point about this. And I don't want to take like I'm stealing his ideas. I'm giving him credit. So he's, if more manufacturers start adopting this, think about you being able to buy this vehicle, and you can get the sound or the shift points or whatever of your favorite car. You can pick up
fun.
Right,
it's the fun. That's what makes it driving fun.
Right. And
so
Casey will love it because he changes his face all the time on his Apple Watch.
Yeah, exactly.
So he would be all in on this. We would finally get Casey to embrace Yes, the EVs.
So I mean, but yeah, you could go through and have this sound like your 83 911 or whatever, So or it's same shift points and everything.
That's going to be a big plus because our friend Chad, he drives from Tampa to Brandon. He bought a Model 3, put TRE or TE Volk wheels on there, different tires, lowered it, I think, for his drive. He said it was so boring after a while. And I'm going to throw back to when I had the 80 Wyzock that I bought, changed the exhaust, and immediately loved driving that car just because of the exhaust. So kudos to Hyundai for doing this. I think you put an exhaust on a car and it just makes it so much more fun. I mean, James, man, we were ripping.
Absolutely.
We'll talk about it on another podcast, but just the exhaust note is so much, it makes a car for a petrol head so much more enjoyable.
And it's not the sound as much as the feel of engagement, right? I blip the gas and there's a response, right?
And you're not going to take that away. We've been having cars for over 100 years now. It's not going to happen overnight. So I know, Matt, unfortunately you don't have that video, but you could do 3 or 4 different sounds?
Yeah, so it comes stock with 3 different sounds. For one's like a jet turbo fighter, one is a couple different motor noises, but
a jet turbo fighter.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
so they've already jumped the shark, is what you're saying.
Well, it's just something they did as a gimmick, it's trying to make it fun for people,
And it plays to the back of the car, so outside of the car and inside of the car.
Yeah,
so I can upload my MIDI file and get whatever sound I want.
Thing. So, you can make it Pac-Man. Just
yes. It's honestly, they could go through and imagine this. Remember how you used to always buy freaking ringtones and shit or whatever for your phone and everything?
Exactly.
So you can go on to Hyundai's website and download a sound pack of like 35 different either whatever for $60 or whatever and upload it in your car and pick whatever you want.
We can make it sound like Casey's car. They just spent all that money on the motor to have that sound. We just
sound the same. Yep.
I mean,
same torque curve and everything. So
it'll be faster too, more horsepower.
Oh, it's definitely more horsepower. So
yeah, you put some racing stripes on there. Look out.
Yeah. So I think I just applaud them for trying to have fun.
Styling goes though, right? If you want to pull up a photo, I think the styling.
Yeah, can you pull up the photo back on it?
Sure can.
You can take a look.
Yep. So let's do this real quick.
And I think what's cool is that it kind of falls in line with current vehicles, the look and feel, as opposed to saying, "Look at me, I'm an electric vehicle."
So it looks to me, it looks like a Volkswagen Golf
GTI,
or Jetta GTI.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Small, four-door hatchback
model. Yep.
I dig it, and it's in line with some of these others that we've looked at, including the new Macan, where it has that little kind of cut in at the bottom of the doors.
And the interior looks like a
panel.
car interior, and it does not look cheap like a Tesla.
And you know what you see? You see buttons. There's actually buttons. And this is your button. So with all their in, they have the overboost. So this does as well. So there's just like on the Veloster in and all that. So so this thing has 601 horsepower. But when you push that button, you get 30 seconds of an additional 40 horsepower to give it extra push.
I can tell you right now, some of the things that just look for the interior right now.
The paddles.
Nope. So what I have seen a lot of manufacturers doing is they're doing all of their climate control, and I even have it on my wife's 18 Mercedes. You have to touch the screen to change the
heat.
Fan, the heat. You have to go through, and you're removing your eyes. And I just had this conversation with a gentleman on his new truck. He has the guy who bought the Ford. He has to touch the screen to get to the air conditioning part, and then from there go to the another area. And you're removing he's an older gentleman, but you're removing your eyes from the road. Whereas even in my 992, same situation, I have to, now at least that does have 2 buttons for
programming.
No, it has a button for this for the speed, but not for the temp, if I remember.
Right.
Well, but I'm looking at it right now. Look, you got dual controls. You have all these buttons that not everything's on.
Because it's going away. That's the thing, Kevin, is that, I mean, it's worth discussing at some point is that, I mean, I know that we've talked about it, but manufacturers are certainly swinging back the other way to the physical buttons. There's no doubt. Too many people complaining about it. And I think this is great. It's, you know, you do these electric vehicles and you have to be wrapped in technology, and that's bullshit. Yep. In the end, we just want to drive the car. What I think is cool, talk about old school, is those paddle shifters for your thumbs right there at the 9 and 3 position. That says driver all over it, right?
And if you look at it too, if the radio goes out with a sensor thing, you're not having to, it's probably not going to cost $4,000 because your AC, your radio control,
right.
You know, all your stuff is.
It's a separate screens.
Right, it's a separate screen. So
well, and so they did say, again, this is an EV, so EVs do have a lot of technology. So there is layers within layers within layers of different, you know, formatting, because you can adjust everything. So you can get definitely stuck in the weeds in some of the menus, but they do have hard buttons where you can program your favorite settings with suspension and steering and all that. So once you get it set, and you can just push your button and it defaults to all your stuff you've set.
There's a G meter. I'm looking at right where your cursor's at. That's a G meter right there on the right hand side, just like a Porsche on the right hand side. You have all your temps on the left hand side. You have your speedo and your tachometer there right in the front, which is kind of I like that. I can get to see both. I don't have to, you know.
So
I like
listen,
this. I mean,
as a Porsche guy, we all are. The new Macan EV is coming out, and you know the Macan EV is going to be a lot more than $68,000.
It's going to be $60,000.
Right, exactly. No, and so, and this is actually about the same size as the Macan EV. So it's going to be interesting to see, you know, what they toss in there. I mean, if it doesn't have like some paddle shifters and some fun factor to it, you know, the Porsche better be watching Hyundai in this you know,
it
arena.
even looks like you can adjust your curve from this picture here from the front to the back. You can move the cursor over. You got a lap time counter. I mean, I'm pretty excited about this car, and
this car is set up for it. They were serious. They said that they you know, really wanted to go after the track enthusiast when they were designing this car.
You got any other pictures?
Yeah.
Of the inside?
No, just this. Well, I got this one here. Let's see if I can blow it up a little bit.
The best part is the front. Yeah. The front has a grill.
Yeah.
Yeah, the front has a grill. Yep. So yeah, I mean, it's, you know, fit and finish is really nice. Hyundai does really good with their leathers and their stitching. My wife has, you know, the same black leather like this, except hers is all leather with the blue stitching. You know, she's had her car 4 years now. It's holding up fine. You know,
and I wonder if they're going to do the same 100,000-mile warranty that they're known for.
They probably do. Actually, I have a paper here. Does it say? So we got 4-door rear motor. Nah, it doesn't say what the warranty is going to be.
It's even got a racing pedal on there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So fuel economy 69. Well, it's not really miles per gallon because there's no gallons, but MPGE is 69, 75 mile per hour highway range. So if you're cruising 75 miles an hour down the highway nonstop, you get 190 miles. Okay. So that's the only. I mean, that's the only downfall is the actual range on this thing. But you know, again, it's not really designed as this is more an enthusiast vehicle, not really. You know, because the regular Ioniq 5, not the N, I think gets 340. So
here's the thing: is it would have been really cool if this was more of a, you know, hot hatch.
So it is going to have a 10-year, 100,000-mile EV limited battery warranty.
There you go.
So
Hyundai's
if they lightened it up, made it a little bit smaller with like a hot hatch size, I wonder if that would even do better.
Well,
I mean, 641 horsepower.
That's what. They did have. So they had but that wasn't an EV. So yeah, I mean, eventually they probably will. Although they do have. I mean, right now they don't have any small hot hatch EVs. in their N division, they do make the Elantra N, which is now a sedan. It's not a wagon, but it's in that same realm of size. And then the Veloster N was their hot hatch, but they killed that off and replaced it with the Elantra N. And then they make the Kona N, which is basically almost the same size as this, but it's gas powered. It's their small Kona SUV.
And they call the N button the N grin button, boost button.
Nice. I love it.
Yeah, they could work on that a little bit.
Oh, the name of it?
Yeah.
So it provides an extra 10 seconds of boosted acceleration up to 640 horsepower.
Okay, so 10 seconds. I thought it was 30, so that's good.
Yeah. But it does have launch control on there as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm wondering if anyone's going to take this on a track and give track numbers. Well, I'm sure once they come out with it.
I'm sure they will.
So the seats too have they look like pole position seats. They have the holes in the back. I'm looking at. You should go to the website, Matt, and it's HyundaiUSA.com, and you can click on it. You can see the seats. Put a fucking roll cage in here, and I mean, big brakes. I mean, nice. Looks like 4-piston calipers. I'm really
impressed.
Yeah, I'm impressed, and I don't get impressed. Like, so you can go from 10 to 100% in 7 hours. So none of the none of the 24 hours. Now I'm sure with 110 it's going to be a lot longer, but
all right. So
so go right there and click right there. I just click on it, I think. No, I didn't go there. I just went to end right there. Keep on. I gotta accept the cookies.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So set that. Now go down and keep on going. There you go. Keep on right there.
Yeah.
Keep on going. View specs, and you can see there it goes. That's where it talks. Keep on scrolling down, and you see.
Oh, it comes with a slip differential too.
Yes, it does. So they're comparing it against the Mustang Mach-E. It has blind spots. Yeah. Well, everything's not available. 12.3 touchscreen with navigation.
Mm-hmm. Hands-free. I like that seam in the door. I think that's pretty sharp.
Yeah, it looks good.
Some good motion to it.
It's a good looking vehicle.
It is. Not gonna lie on that.
There
you go.
Yeah. Recaro style seats.
Like BMW seats.
They do. Yep. So who's buying one first?
Not so much about the rims there.
No.
That's a pass. That's a what else do you have?
Maybe I can convince Stacy that she needs this instead of her Sonata.
I think so. Go test it out, Matt. Report back.
Well, they're not available yet.
I have to wait for the dealership to get some.
Do you think it's going to be one of those we don't have any right now?
I don't know. One thing about Hyundai, at least lately, every time I go to the dealership, whether we're having Stacy's car serviced or one of the kids' car serviced, they don't have a lot of cars on the lot.
That's something I've never said.
Yeah.
What's that? When I go to the Hyundai dealership, I've never said that.
Here's why. Because they give you free service.
Matt, go to the gallery, on the website. Yep, right there.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And you will see, scroll. You can see a lot of the pictures, and you can see up close pictures of the gauges. And, keep on going though. Keep on going. Don't
sharp,
do that.
Sharp and black.
Yeah,
it is sharp and black.
Hey, there's 360. Go for it.
That one
didn't load.
Yeah.
That's sharp.
Casey's gonna be like, "You fuckers are going again."
I know it. I really wanted him to be here because I was hoping that I could turn him, and
so
get him
to
admit that he likes
click on the button on your computer and then you hold the button down, you can scroll for the 360.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you're gonna have to hold the button, then you move your cursor.
Okay.
So I'm doing it on my phone. The interior one does not work, just to let you know. So but the car
See,
one,
I like it in black.
There you go.
Charcoal or whatever. That's sharp.
Yeah.
That's really sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gee, it does look like a hot hatch. Maybe it is that more of that size.
Yeah.
That does look like a GTI as far as size goes.
It really does.
Of course,
yeah.
because they copy everything. But hey.
Yeah.
So they always put this. They always put this periwinkle color and everything, and I'm not a fan of this periwinkle color.
How about the red or the orange or whatever they call
it? Is that the N blue?
I think so, yeah. Although it's usually a gloss, and now it looks like they put it as a matte on this, which I kind of like the matte white better than the gloss. But
we get every angle on the white.
Yeah, because white's going to show all your angles.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
But they kept the orange on the bottom.
Yeah.
And how about the gray?
We don't want gray.
I like the grill though. That's pretty. It looks like there's a radiator.
Right? That's a matte gray though.
That's sharp.
They have two matte colors. That's sharp.
I like the black still.
Yeah, I like the black too.
Yeah, I think that winds up looking the best. Cool.
Yeah. So the interior doesn't work. So
all right.
Yeah,
so
I dig it.
Put our deposits down, and we'll all chip in for Casey's deposit as well.
Yeah, I really wanted him to be here for this episode because I just wanted to see if he could finally admit to liking an EV. Because he's going to be the last holdout. So anyway, hey, that was the Ioniq 5N.
It's sharp. Yeah, I'm quite intrigued.
It's going to be interesting. So I will definitely go test drive one once they're available at the dealerships.
Matt, you got no stories?
I have no stories, man. I got nothing. Has anything weird happened? I mean, weird shit happens to me all the time, but sometimes I just overlook it. No stories. Although I was telling Kevin, I took I think 4 of my stories from various episodes. And I was playing around and I clipped them all together into a 17-minute video that we're going to toss up on our shorts section on YouTube. And so just to see how it turns out. So
those stories are becoming legendary. Because people come up to me and go, "Man, I love that mashed potato story."
Are you? And that I did not.
Portia Patrick.
Yeah.
Shout out.
I love it.
It's like, man, I was laughing my ass off about this mashed potato story.
That's hilarious.
It's epic.
I love it.
Yeah. So next episode we should have plenty to talk about, and we can also revisit. I can tell you guys from our rally bag that we made. I found a lot of things that I needed in my
that we're
bag.
missing.
Yeah.
That we are. Yeah, this is going to be great. We may even bring a guest on to go over some of the things that we've been missing.
Oh yeah,
right.
Quite a lot of things that were missing that I needed either to help somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Or that I saw other people have, but mainly it was what was missing in my bag. So much. I spent 3 hours 2 days ago, and I can tell you, we can touch base a little bit on it, but I can tell you that I ended up buying a $44 metric toolkit and said the hell with the Porsche toolkit for one that I didn't have in my car. That I thought. So we went over my rally bag. I had a belt. I had a belt, but I didn't have a 24 millimeter wrench.
Oh, okay.
Not that I needed one, but I was helping a fellow guy. So yeah, found a lot of things that I definitely need. And when we get maybe a bigger, I probably will. Maybe we'll see if we'll give this away. It actually worked really good.
Cool.
I'm gonna have an extra one that I bought.
Cool. Well, save it for the next episode, which will definitely be a rally roundup, as Casey's on a rally of that he put together, and Kevin and I just got back from Ruckus rally up in Roanoke, Virginia. So we will give you a lowdown on all of that.
Yeah, it's going to be a long episode.
It is. I can't wait for it because me, who has not been driving, I've been actually just fixing my car. Not anything fascinating, but like yesterday I changed the AC switches because they're all, peeled off, and I have a new spring coming from my gas door because, it won't stay open. I'm just doing stupid bullshit.
I'm dealing with that too.
Are you really?
Oh, but it ain't. It's not like yours.
Okay.
No.
My car's dialed in. I'm all good. Thank you very much. It just needs to be washed.
Well, I'm getting ready for our October rally. Yeah.
Here's the last question, Matt.
Yeah, buddy.
Do you get sick as a passenger?
Do I get sick as a passenger?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I've never been a passenger.
Okay, so you know that co-pilots are encouraged on these rallies as well. So there's always a chance if you want to get in on the air-cooled rally to go as a co-pilot.
Oh, listen, I'll take Dramamine. I won't get sick. So we'll see. That'd be cool.
There you go.
One of these days I'll have an air cooled and I can participate. But
we know Casey doesn't get sick because last year he ran on fair.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, yeah, but he did say that a couple times he got a little queasy. So, but he didn't lose it. So
that's what the electric windows are for.
Exactly. Just stare in the direction you're going and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome.
All right, fellas, you got anything else for tonight?
Nope.
All right, that's it. Well, guys, thanks for listening. For those, you just check. Instagram's the easiest. Go to Instagram, Whiskey Watches and Wheels. Go to our link tree. All the information's there. Our website, our YouTube channel, everything's there. If you need to reach out to us, Instagram's great. Just send us a direct message or an email.
He says just go to the, Instagram, but then he still covers everything.
Well, you know, I'm detailed. What can I say?
All
right, guys. We'll catch you guys later. Bye.
See ya.
Night.